So in this video today, we've got two forgiving drivers going head to head in a battle. And these two drivers have got a little bit of a twist that we'll talk about in this video. We've got the Ping G430 Max 10K up against the new Mizuno ST Max 230 drivers. Let's see which one comes out on top. Okay, so obviously we've seen the theme of forgiving drivers for 2024, and I've got two absolute crackers in my hand here. We've done the full review of both these drivers, so more in-depth techie look at those, you can go and check those videos out. The reason I want to put these two head to head is more from the request of you guys watching. So I did my recent review of the Mizuno ST Max 230. It was pretty impressive. Quite a nice low spin with that as well, and it was providing some really good numbers. And we've seen some similar patterns and characteristics with the Ping 10K. So you were screaming for me to put this video together, so obviously this is why I'm doing it. So just stay tuned to the end of this video because there's a big difference between these two drivers that we're going to mention and talk about. So the Ping's a 9° set at 9°, the Mizuno's 9.5 set at 9.5, exactly the same shaft, length, swing weight and also a grip in both of these drivers. So this is going to be as clean head to head as you're going to get. So the process we're going to take through this video, we're going to hit 3 with the Ping, 3 Mizuno, 3 Ping, 3 Mizuno and carry on. So we're going to get that even test between them, so I'm not getting in too much of a rhythm with each one. Okay, and we're going to start off with the Ping 10K. Oh, that smoked. Straight out the guns there, that's arrow straight. Pretty decent strike, ever so slightly toe side, good ball, 165, spin low. 304, cracker of a start with the Ping. And that's the thing we've seen with both of these drivers. These are a little bit more in that lower spin. So typically in the past when we've seen these forgiving drivers, you know, this big head, and these are big footprints down by the golf ball. Obviously they're all 460cc, but the stretch back, a little bit shallow in the face, stretch that back, heavier weight in the back section, carbon, which then the weight goes more into the back. When we've typically seen that, that's generally more of a higher launching and a higher spinning product. So I'm really aimed probably for that, maybe that mid to high handicap golfer who's looking just to get that ball in the air, get some spin on it, keep it in the air, and obviously make it forgiving. Now, these two for me are opening up these drivers to a wider audience, a different type of golfer. Your higher handicap golfers, as long as they get the launch there, but also to your lower handicap golfers, somebody with a little bit more speed that then is trying to control spin. That's a good flight. Touch up the left, but again, that's going to be fine in that fairway. Good ball speed. Into around that 166, there you go, 301. And I think feedback we've sort of seen is a lot of the tour players are putting these drivers into play because the spin is low, it's controlled, but they can go at it a little bit harder, knowing that if they're just slightly missing it, they're still getting the accuracy of this forgiveness that's obviously built into the driver. So obviously this is very much a Ping golf club, isn't it? You know, we see that busier crown there with turbulators. We've got that carbon that we see in the LST driver. We don't see that in the normal Max and the SFT, but we see it in the LST, and that's obviously coming now into the 10K, helping to save that weight, as we just mentioned. Oh, I tell you what, I don't want those 3 back. This Mizuno's up against it straight away. 3 very straight tee shots, which I would take every single day of the week. So it is that Ping sound, a little bit louder, isn't it? Let's just jump into the Mizuno, hit 3 with that now. Right, so ST Max from Mizuno. So we've seen the STZ, the X, we saw the G, which was a little bit more the movable weights, which is more compact, deeper club face, low spin option. But then this is now the forgiveness. I think, again, this is going to be a popular option. You know, and we know with Mizuno, they're maybe not obviously the top of the priority list when it comes to the driver category. Irons are absolutely massive, but the driver, they're obviously just trying to eat away, and I think they definitely are eating away at that driver category. Looking at the golf club, again, it's a large footprint. Let's just put these two side by side just to start off with a little bit of a comparison of look between these two drivers. Both big footprints, probably very similar on the shape, to be honest. Obviously the Mizuno now is a glossy black finish with the carbon coming through, so maybe not quite as busy as the Ping, and obviously a more of a glossy finish, black face, but sits very, very square, like the Ping does, to be honest. Good looking driver. Okay, and that caught a little bit low in the face there, so that's launched out a little bit lower. But you see that spin there, so it was a little bit low in the face on that strike. You can sort of see that on the image on the right hand side of the screen, but that has obviously launched 8.5 because of the strike, but it's kept that spin relatively low. I think straight away there, the sound's very, very different. It's definitely the carbon sort of sound you're getting through with the Mizuno, that solid sort of feel, that carbon duller sort of sound, with the Ping obviously is a little bit more tinnier on that sound, a little bit louder. You'll either like that or you won't. Personal feel's got to come into it with the sound. That's a nice shot, good flight. Yeah, just a very different sounding golf club there. It's a good sounding golf club. 163, 2.5 spin, very good on that spin area, edging to that 300. This is going to be close to sort of edge these two. So what we see in the ST Max is a little bit more carbon in the bottom of the club. Obviously we've got the carbon in the crown, so again that is saving weight. And we can see this like sort of padded weight area at the back of the golf club. We've got a screw in there, but it's also a little bit padded at the back part of that golf club. That's just extra weight, moving it back, obviously to create that higher MOI, forgiveness and resistance to twist on those miss hits. Even though that's a really big footprint down there, it doesn't look massive. I think because they split the head up into maybe two colours there with that carbon in the front, it doesn't look massively offensive. Ooh, just pulled a little bit. Great feel to that though. That's probably the most offline one I've hit, and it's not that bad to be honest. I'll take that all day long, to be fair. Okay, so back into the Ping for another 3. Oh, right, yeah, that is a poor strike. That was a little bit of a low heely connection, started up that left-hand side. It's just staying there a little bit. It's not too bad offline. Probably going to get up into that rough a little bit. But again, that's only spun at 2.6. So with that heely low one, it didn't spin up and lose a lot of distance. So you look at the total there, 287, and probably about, what, 13, 14 yards back, which isn't too bad on that strike. Oh, that's ripped. Such a good flight. And I think I definitely feel like, you know, you can let that go a little bit and maybe just know that you've got the buffer of just that slight miss hit. It's just going to get away with it a little bit more. Good ball speed, 166. Again, there's that spin number. And that's what I was talking about with these two drivers. Get that spin in that slightly lower category. Suits me personally, but I think anybody who has a little bit more speed might not ever entertain this forgiving driver because they feel like it's that high handicap golfer golf club. But, you know, with that spin number in there, I think what I'd say to you is definitely give it a go. Ooh, a little bit of cutty one on that. Touch low in the face fractionally. A little bit of left to right. But again, that spin's pretty good for that type of shape that I've just hit. So we've still got adjustability in both these drivers in that neck sleeve. So we can change that loft up and down. We've got the flat lie setting in the Ping. Mizuno as standard comes a little bit on the flatter side, but then we've got an upright setting to really try and maybe lose that right miss. Okay, so back into the Mizuno for the final 3. Okay, so final set of 3 with the Ping, and then we're going to hit another 3 with the Mizuno, and then we'll look at some numbers. Okay, so there's a final shot hit with the Ping. Okay, so final batch with the Mizuno. Oh, that's a cracker to finish up on. Okay, there's 9 shots hit with each of those drivers. Let's go and check a few numbers out. So look at the dispersion rings on the left. Maybe just pipping it is going to be the Ping there. So apart from that one where I hit, I think it was a little bit low heely, the others were very, very straight in the white. Then we look at the sort of numbers on the right hand side. We can see club head speed was actually a touch quicker there with the Mizuno, but ball speed not as quick. So you can see 165 with the Ping, 163.3. Launch very similar, and the spin very similar. And this is what I was talking about before, this spin number. It's nice to sort of see that in a lower bracket for such a big weight at the back of the driver. Then I think, as I mentioned, this will open up this driver to more types of golfers and probably more of your quicker swinging golf. If you're a high handicapper, that doesn't mean these drivers are no good for you. It's just probably just got to make sure you get the loft in your hand that is correct for your launch to maximize your distance. Now, maybe the real big talking point about these two drivers is the price. We've got to mention that because there's a bit of a difference between these two golf clubs. So the Mizuno is going to come in, as I was shooting this video, at £449, and the Ping 10K is coming in at £549. So there's a £100 difference with the Ping being more expensive, and that might just potentially sway you. Post comments down below, let me know your thoughts, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.